We're gonna start it right here. Yo, 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 yo. Hold on. Boom, yo. All right, guest. There we go. Yo, how is everybody doing? Thank you to everybody who is here. We got a couple people in here already. Strix, Ulrich, JJ. Thank you to everybody who is here for the first, I guess, other series, Sniper Island Sit Down, which, seeing as how this isn't a stream about One Piece, it's not going to be the Sniper Island Sit Down. Originally, I was going to call these the Impel Down interviews, but for the sake of My Hero Academia, we're going to call this the first ever Tartarus Talk. And I'm here with the man himself, what is it? You're not the Archbishop. What is your title? What is your title?
I am the Cardinal.
The Cardinal
of the Church.
The Cardinal of the Church of the Hero Academia Discord. My boy AnikiSmash. If y'all don't know who he is, what the hell are you doing? You must not have been an original on my channel. That's one. And secondly, you have not been keeping up with the My Hero community at all. Because my nigga is really in all honesty, I'd say you are probably the head of the Hero Academia community at this point. Real, in all honesty, I'd really put you at the head of the Hero Academia community.
I feel like in an underground sense, you could say that, because
I'd say underground, and just all around, because for people who cover exclusively Hero Academia, you are literally one of you. I'm not even gonna say one of. I'm going to say you literally are the person that I hear a lot of people talking about, especially when it comes to Twitter. When you go on Reddit, because I do sometimes frequent the Hero Academia Reddit just so I can try and catch up and stay a part of the conversation and in preparation for this.
Yep.
And when the topic of YouTubers came up, a lot of times all I saw Aniki or Smash, and I'm like, oh shit, my nigga Smash pulled through. We came a long way from that first what was that big E3? The Jump Force review.
Oh yeah.
Since that Jump Force review, bro.
Everybody games on Xbox.
Let's go.
Oh, rip that channel,
bro. I miss 0. I miss 000. I miss Silver 000. That was it's a whole special place in my heart.
That's 2018.
Bro. Damn, it's been
yeah.
Shit. Oh yeah, but before we start, it is me and Smash's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Smash's birthday. How the hell we just skip over that?
It's the birthday bash. See, that's what you can tell neither one of us is super selfish, because we just keep.
Yo, but all right. It's the birthday stream. Tartarus Talk. We're gonna be talking about Hero Academia and a little bit of One Piece. Nothing big, but I had to sneak One Piece in here just so I could attempt to slander Carrot at some point. But we got some topics to go through. The subverted expectations, My Hero versus other series, which I'm going to be talking about One Piece for the most part because of, like I've said multiple times before, I don't want to say disgust, but my uncomfortability with how Wano has been handled so far. The better prison discussion, Impel Down versus Tartarus, because me catching up with Hero Academia, I was about to say Wano. I don't know how many of y'all know this, but I like prisons. That's kind of weird coming from a black dude,
but conceptually though, what they represent is usually this is a show of power. As far as world building goes, prisons always come with some kind of lore dump, some kind of just what prisons always represent in series is just so monumental that any story that has a form of legal or justice, you gotta have a prison. At some point, it's I gotta see what your prisons are like.
You gotta see what the prisons are like, and it's there to upscale or just give how strong certain characters are. Oh, excuse me. Looking at Impel Down, they said the only person to ever break out of this prison was the Golden Lion Shikian. Granted, Strong World wasn't canon. We still got to see a little bit of what he was about, and towards the end of it, and to see who he is and get the actual lore on him now in the series, you get a sense of, damn, this prison is serious, especially when we saw that Luffy was there. This prison is serious, and the only person to break out of here was the mastermind, the person who was known for his strategy, that was a part of Gold Roger's era. Yeah, that it's a pretty big feat. And then you look at Tartarus, advanced technology. You got drones out the ass. If anybody's ever played Call of Duty Black Ops 2, there was something called the Swarm. It's a little drone that you throw out and they explode on impact. They had something like that in Tartarus. And motherfuckers got out.
Look, Tartarus is everything that like modern weaponry is like trying to build towards effectively. And that's what makes it terrifying. But the other thing that I really like about Tartarus is just that it has like the same robots that the school does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The
the 1, 2, and 3 pointers and the 0 pointers.
Yeah. When I first saw that, I was looking at it like, wait, I've seen y'all before. Where have I seen you? And for the fucking life of me, I apologize for cursing. I know I said I'm trying to clean up my fucking vocabulary, but I don't care. Who's calling me? It's my fucking aunt. I'll call you back, Aisha. I'm streaming. But yeah, you know what? I can't do it like this because I got to look at the chat and like keep the camera focused at the same time. I apologize about that. But yeah, looking at Tartarus and seeing those machines, for the life of me, I could not place them. But when I finally did get like make the connection, I was like, oh shit. These are the dangerous motherfuckers. Seeing the 0 point machine again kind of blew my mind because look what it took to take it out.
Right. Like every time you see like a 0 pointer taken out, it's some kind of like advanced weapon or something like that. But then like when we see this happen, it's just, you know,
bro,
vested Shiggy walking through like,
bro, watching. We gonna get into the discussion. We're gonna get into the discussion of certain characters, especially when we get to that point in the discussion. Yo, Ziad said happy birthday. Where's my gift? Shut your ass up, Ziad. Shut your ass up. Hey, JD's in the chat. Nugget Silver. Yo, I'm not. Can we let the Nugget thing die? I didn't even have Nuggets today. I threw the bag away. No. I had Taco Bell today. Taco Bell. I don't eat nuggets no more. Can we let this die, please? Please.
You stop eating nuggets? The nugget addiction is ended?
No. No. It's not as crazy as people think it is. Like I don't eat nuggets all day and every day.
So you stop ordering 40?
First topic. The first topic is we're gonna be talking about subverting Oh no, I ain't even finished the list of topics. We talking about subverting expectations, My Hero versus other shonen. Like I said, I'm gonna be talking about One Piece mostly. The Better Prison, Impel Down versus Tartarus. It's not gonna be an argument for the most part. It's really just gonna be us, you know, just chopping it up. Silver's a pure fraud. Chill out. And finally, it's what it means to be a hero, expectations versus certain characters' reasons. Just to clarify, it's more of what is more important in being a hero. Is it your own ideology, your own convictions, or does the public opinion, what they expect of a hero, does that make you a hero? Does what you do make you a hero? Your reasoning behind it is the simple motivation of just money enough, or is that too greedy? Because if you look at somebody like Uraraka, who wants to be a hero just so she can make more money, but it's not in the greedy sense, as in she just wants to be rich. She's actually doing it to help out her family because shit. Uraraka's wholesome. I'm sorry.
Here's what people like. I think a lot of people got to realize or like look at heroes as it's like they're kind of like police officers combined with athletes. Where people just like yeah, you're law enforcement to a degree, but like you're a big celebrity role. So like the same way people are like, man, I gotta make it out. I'm gonna be the best basketball player, the best football player. Like that's what being a hero is looked at as. So like when people are like, yeah, I'm gonna do that for money or whatever, like yeah, like that's how it's been built up. It hasn't been built up as a thing that you try hard and work through and go through all these arduous trials for. It's been built up as this genuine celebrity culture. Thanks, All Might.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that I loved Aizawa so much. It's not so much. It's not that he's doing it for the fame and fortune. As a matter of fact, he actually hates the cameras and he hates heroes who stand in the spotlight the way that All Might does. And
Yep.
I absolutely love him for that. Stick to the shadows. If y'all don't know, Spider-Man is one of my favorite heroes. Ben Reilly, Miles Morales. I fell off of Peter Parker after the whole fuck what was the shit? He sold his marriage to Mephisto. I hate him and MJ. That's not the point.
Yeah, man, because MJ they're literally the toxic couple that just won't stay apart. That's all they are.
To me, every toxic couple in comic books always involves a redhead. Tell me I'm wrong. Peter and MJ, Scott and Jean,
Yeah.
and if you want to move over to the DC side, Dick Grayson, my favorite Robin, and both of his main two love interests, Starfire and Barbara.
Because there was that time that Dick Grayson went full fuckboy, and he piped Barbara Gordon, then invited her to his wedding to Starfire. That was 2 days later.
Word, bro. And then what?
While Barbara Gordon was in a wheelchair.
And then because of Starfire's culture, that was a different issue. Starfire was getting married to somebody else, but because of her culture, it was like I love you and I love him, and there's nothing wrong with that, and he just couldn't accept it. He wants to change her just to be more human, he can't accept. Bruh, toxic couples always involve a redhead. I'm sorry, it's just a clean cut fact. But the worst thing about it is that Barbara Gordon is probably the best person for Dick Grayson if they can get their shit together.
Because Dick always messes up or has already messed up so bad that it can't the dude ball drops a lot.
You know how bad the Dick Grayson Barbara Gordon shit has gotten to this point that the show I think it was one issue where Barbara and Jason, they flirt a lot, and every time they're about to have a moment, it always gets interrupted. And I think it was right before the most recent Red Hood stuff started kicking off. He left a letter on her door, telling her, "I love you. I feel like we should be together, but there's some shit that I gotta do first." It fell off her door, and the cleaning lady who was coming by with the vacuum sucked it up. She never got that letter. I don't like Jason and Barbara. I feel like that's ugly. That's your brother's girl.
That's weird. And then on top of that, though, I also really hate that trope. That particular trope. Oh my god, I hate that trope. The letter in the vacuum cleaner. It fell off, and so they don't get to see.
And they never got to see it. That if you're going to have them not be together, have a conclusion. Don't just have it lingering up there for a later issue.
Wait, your audio just cut out.
Oh, it did? Hello?
Mic on.
Yo. Hello?
Wait.
Hello?
Oh.
Mic off.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You hear me? All right, yeah. It was because I moved my mic.
Yeah.
It was because I moved my mic over and the fucking USB thing is a little jacked. But all right, we back.
All right, cool.
Jason and Ravager are in my opinion, they're the best couple for each other. Either him and Artemis. That's the best couple and I'm not talking about Green Arrow Artemis. I'm talking about the Amazonian Artemis.
Yeah, the one he was kicking it with Bizarro with.
Yeah, the new Red Hood, the new Outlaws.
Yeah, which that was a very interesting dynamic, but
another fucked up. That's another redhead that was a toxic couple. That relationship was kind of toxic at times because.
It was.
Didn't he? Wait, the original Red Hood and the Outlaws. He was fucking Starfire. He was smashing Him and Roy was smashing Starfire.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The New 52 was a dark era. I see why people hate the New 52. All right, yo, we going off topic because we don't have long. We don't have long. It's niggas' birthdays.
Yeah.
We got to get going in like I want to say another hour.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so let's move on to the subversion of subverting expectations. First off, I want to say I've been very upset with how Wano was handled. I've said this in multiple streams before. Oda has told us that Wano was a country of ridiculous swordsmen. Swordsmen that if Zoro walked into holding Shisui, there were going to be some absolute issues.
Right. He built it up like there was gonna be smoke from the civilians. It's gonna be a serious problem. You're like, all right, yeah, like they're gonna have to worry about this and this, like all these dangers, and it's like actually
And that was
they walk on the
and that was all before we even knew that Kaido was even here. Because at one point there was no indication that Kaido was in Wano whatsoever. Now, when we finally do get to Wano, we find out swordsmanship has been outlawed for the past 20 years. Kaido's here. The Shogun is absolutely nothing. Well, I'm not gonna count the Shogun because that was more fan expectation rather than Oda actually told us that this person is going to be ridiculously strong.
which okay, and for the record, I think we should also clarify that to a certain degree, once this happened, Orochi is actually more like a traditional emperor of Japan than he is a shogun, whereas Kaido was basically the shogun.
Yeah.
So I think that was something too that I think got a little lost in translation,
it
when we were
lost in
looking at their
translation.
dynamics.
In all honesty, I think the title Shogun was only used because it sounds cooler than Emperor. And because the title of Emperor already belongs to the 4 biggest pirates in the world.
Yeah.
So just to avoid confusion, just like the reason he changed Sanji's name, it was originally Naruto. The reason he changed his name, he didn't want any confusion between his character and the ninja. But
yeah, hence the spiral eyebrow.
Yeah, right. Like the spiral eyebrow. Oh yeah, the little things that you put in ramen. Aren't those called Naruto? Yeah, like Naruto ramen. Oh shit. So much shit just went off in my head right now. Why is everybody texted me and called me today. I understand that, but the influx only happens as soon as I start streaming. As soon as never fails. It never fails. But yeah, so when we finally get to Wano, everything that Oda has built up, everything that he's told us was, and I'm not going to say an absolute lie, but it just didn't pay off.
Right. And so for me, one of the things that really bugged me about, like, that maybe not for everybody else, but it was like definitely like I would consider this a subversion from the standpoint of Oda stacks the cards with the Grand Fleet, right? Then during Reverie, like after Whole Cake, we get an announcement, this is where Luffy's going. Big Mom is after him. The Grand Fleet know this. Luffy and them are on Wano for another 2 to 3 weeks. Still no Grand Fleet, even though they all have Viva cards. Why would they let Luffy deal with 2 Yonko without the Grand Fleet already being on their way? That doesn't even make sense to me.
That absolutely does make sense because on one hand, I can understand why they didn't show up the Whole Cake. They just got the Viva cards. I'm pretty sure most of them already know what Viva cards are and how they work.
And they had to go to the Reverie stuff, so like they had legit stuff to do.
They were all split up. They see the Viva card burning, and then they're probably like, oh shit, we need to head over there. We need to find out what's going on, and then it just stops burning. Okay, we were panicked for no reason. Luffy and Whole Cake, he was starved to death. He was beat the hell out of in prison. That's why the Viva card was burning. But when it stopped, when he left Whole Cake Island, I can understand the mindset. Okay, it stopped. We were worried for no reason. And then the newspapers come out. He was in an emperor's territory. He fucked with an emperor. The Grand Fleet
and is on his way to another one.
The Grand Fleet should have lost their fucking minds. They should have lost their fucking minds. Now, wait, what? I can't remember or not. If it was said in the newspaper that he was going to mess with, it didn't say that he was going to mess with Kaido.
No, because they tapped the conversation. So in the conversation, Kaido and Big Mom mentioned how Luffy was on his way to Kaido.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it was known to the public, and that was the only way that the Grand Fleet would have found out about it.
Didn't they straight up say Big Mom is chasing him as he's going to Kaido?
In the newspaper, I don't think so. In the newspaper, it was just Luffy went into Big Mom's territory and she suffered a major loss. After that,
Okay, yeah.
After that, there was no more mention of where Luffy was headed.
Wait, because that's the chapter of the Fifth Emperor, but the chapter where the conversation got leaked, I think, was later during Reverie.
But
so now, hold on.
But even still, Luffy was in prison. He got Thunder Bogwood by Kaido.
Yeah,
that Beaver card should at least be sparking some ashes by now. And I think the Grand Fleet is smart enough to know he was just fucking with one emperor, and the Beaver card was burning away. It's burning away again. We need to get the fuck over there. So, with all of the time that's passed, I feel like it's a given that the Grand Fleet should have seen at least one member of the Grand Fleet by now. At least one. Because I don't think it makes sense for all of them to show up at the exact same time.
No, not at the same time, but I'm like, somebody had to have been like, I think we need to go check this out.
Clans Jr., one, your name is hilarious because it's two black dudes in here. That is hilarious. And your name is Clans. But yeah, at one point I was waiting for Tashigi to show up to Wano, but that was before Wano was what Wano is. But yeah, that was my big issue with Wano and how the community said it was subverting expectations rather than and not just straight up false advertising and just straight up lying, which I'm calling it lying. It was a lie. No matter how you look at it, he told us one thing, but we got something completely different.
Also, I hate that people said that Big Mom getting her memory loss, like in helping Luffy, was a giant subversion. Because the second she got her memory loss, everybody was like, "Oh no, she's gonna go save Luffy." All the threat got yoinked out of the arc. That's not a subversion of expectations. That's ruining the ending for your audience.
For real, right? And on top of it, I don't understand why a lot of the community was upset that Big Mom was going to help Luffy when that was the general consensus on what Big Mom was going to do anyway. Chopper was going to cure her amnesia and she was going to remember that she ate Mother Caramel and all of them and she was going to realize she's a good person. No, that's not how growing up into a person is. She doesn't have the mindset of a child anymore. She's a grown woman. She has children. She has grandchildren. I'm pretty sure she has great-grandchildren.
She just happens to be very selfish and wild.
Yeah. When she was a child, she may have had good intentions, but she was raised into a really bad person. Like, I don't understand how her coming to grips with the fact that she ate somebody would automatically make her go, I'm a good person. I'm going to help the Straw Hats. Help the Straw Hats do what? She still wants to be Pirate King. She still wants to have all of her children at giant height. So there's literally nothing. She'll be distraught at some point, sure. But there's nothing to say that she joined Luffy's side.
And if we're being honest, it's not even that wild to say that she might already know what she did anyway, because at some point you kind of got to figure out, these are the same powers that I used to see, therefore got it.
And she knows how devil fruits work at this point. She fucking hunts them down. She has an information network the size of the fucking World Wide Web. Like, there's no reason she shouldn't know. Or if she does know, she's probably repressing it or denying the fact that she has done it.
Yeah, hold on.
Now, let's go to Hero Academia, where subverting expectations is an actual good thing rather than just straight up, this was supposed to happen, why didn't we get that? No. For Hero Academia, I will be one of the first people to admit, when we found out that Midoriya may get other quirks, I instantly thought, he's about to be broken as shit. There's nothing that's gonna stop him.
Yep, I understand. Like, look, most stories, that's exactly what that means. You get new powers, it's over. You're gonna power clip everybody, be ahead of everyone, no matter what happens. It's just that's it. And now none of the fights matter. And what I've always tried to do is like look at established precedent, and I think that's the thing that is the real subversion within that story is that he pretty much always honors his established precedent. So you expect like, oh, he's gonna go beyond, and like Luke, I don't think like Deku actually has had a real plus ultra moment, even counting what happened during the war. That was like there's a difference between like just blowing yourself up and going plus ultra.
There's one thing. If there's one thing that I will say about Horikoshi that I absolutely love about his writing is that even though it is a shonen manga, he really does follow a comic book s style of writing where he doesn't have a simple format that he follows for every single arc. Where Oda, it's the adventure aspect, understanding the area that you're in, fight villain. Maybe he'll like these are the replaceable parts. Fights villain, lose, come back. The final showdown, it's always the exact same thing. We have to beat this bad guy before this time period or X bad thing will happen. It happened.
Birdcage,
and
the gas factory,
the gas, pretty much everything, and all the way back into Alabasta. We have to beat Crocodile
the
and
war.
Find the bomb before it goes off. Like that, it's pretty much always that same loop. And with Horikoshi, every single arc that I've gone through, especially when I first started reading Hero Academia, before I don't want to say I dropped it, but before I fell off, I always found myself going, okay, this is what's about to happen, and then my bad, that's my little brother in the background yelling, and then just instantly being turned on my side, going, holy shit, what the fuck.
So my big moment for that was Camino, right? Because like I remember I watched the first season and I was like, all right, I'll go read it. And then like I got to the Camino part and I was like, oh snap, the dude got kidnapped. Guess we know what's about to happen here. And then the restraints came off and Bakugo blew that mask off Shigaraki and I was like, huh?
No, my biggest like oh shit moment was when the League of Villains were first starting to come together. The kids had just came into school, and you're thinking, okay, this is gonna be the arc where they're training up, and the League of Villains is starting to build up their ranks. And then, literally, as soon as they start walking into the USJ to start their training, and I can't remember what the area that they were training in was called. It was like it was a special name that they gave it. But whatever it was, bro. Soon as they walked through the door, portal opened up and villains just started pouring out. And I'm like, what the fuck?
You don't even get to start the lesson. Like,
word, you don't, like, why are y'all attacking so soon? And later on, they actually explained it was really just to see where everybody's power was, where everybody stood in terms of strength. But I think that was more so on the planning phase of everybody else, whereas Shigaraki was more like, I'm just impatient. Like he's scratching his neck. He's fiending
right
over the villainy, and I will absolutely say that was one of the first big what the fuck moments that ever happened to me. And the second one that finally put me over the limit of Hero Academia is really not the same as most shonen, and that was when Bakugo was kidnapped, and in my head, because of my Naruto experience, because of every time the MC's rival gets kidnapped or he leaves, and that was around the time that Bakugo was actually starting to go, I hate you, you're getting stronger, and I don't like it. It was his jealousy thing. And I'm looking at so Bakugo is about to leave, join the villain side to get stronger. And that's his reasoning. And he pretty much just told them, go fuck yourself. He laughed in their face.
Literally, like the thing is, when you say it like that, you have final exams where like technically like Deku had to carry him across the finish line at the end. You had all these things that in the normal setting, like the person goes off to become a villain, and then in this case, it's like, yes, Bakugo wants to be strong, but he specifically wants to be a strong hero, and like you ignored the second part of the whole phrase, and now you look dumb. Now you look dumb. Look at you.
That was one of the. I feel like that was one of the things that, like back in the day when Naruto was first starting, I like that about Sasuke. He wanted to be strong and he didn't care how he got to those means. But as I got older and I started to understand his conviction more and more, him joining Orochimaru was kind of fucking stupid. Yes, it did get him to that strength that he wanted to, but he wanted to kill Itachi for murdering his people. The biggest people, the Hokage, is right here. This man was trained by the first and second. He has come to talk to you multiple times. Why not go to him? Why not ask them, I want to train, I want revenge. They will try and talk you out of the revenge, like Kakashi even told him. He said, I'll kill everybody you love just so you can feel my pain. And Kakashi was like, that's not gonna work, because all the people that I love, they're already dead. So
exactly, he could have talked to a lot of people. He could have asked Kakashi to expound upon that. But that's also why I say Kakashi was a bad teacher.
There were people there for him, and yes, I do agree. Kakashi was kind of all over the place. The man told Naruto, "I'm not gonna train you." He's like, "Why? Because you're gonna train Sasuke," and then he sends him to Ebisu.
I have no idea how Ebisu was supposed to be a good teacher for him.
I don't either. And I can't remember it like fully, but I don't even think he really taught him anything.
He started to teach him how to walk on water.
Didn't Jiraiya finish all of that up?
Yep, because he had to undo the seal anyway.
Yeah. But the point is, subverting expectations. Everybody, because of the typical shonen format of the rival leaves to join the bad guy's side for whatever reason, Bakugo pretty much spat on that and laughed. Bakugo is Robin when Joker was turning him into a Joker Jr., and Bakugo laughed at him and said no. It wasn't even fuck you, go fuck yourself because I'm a hero. He just said no. He straight up just told them no.
I want to talk about an unpopular My Hero subversion that I liked, but a lot of people don't like.
Shoot, bro.
And that's how the war arc finished. Because on first read, I get being disappointed, but then I'm like, nah. The whole point for me, I'm like, okay, nobody actually got what they wanted, except the villains still technically got what they wanted, and the heroes still technically got what they wanted. The heroes stopped Shigaraki from being complete. So they kind of got what they wanted,
but the heroes, but the trust in the heroes was still kind of broke.
They lost the trust. They lost a bunch of their forces. They lost
a city. They lost a city.
Yeah, they lost cities because if you do the math, Makia ran what Makia ran through a million people at minimum.
No, I was just thinking about when Shigaraki woke up and destroyed that huge area. I absolutely forgot about Makia. I thought that he just ran through forest area. I forgot he ran through a city.
Yeah, and the thing is that if you think back to the first couple chapters when they showed you that hero spread of them all walking towards the hospital, the page before that was literally a mom walking with her son. You ready for the first day of school?
Oh, shit.
So there was a part where Maki is going, and I think when I mention it now, you get the spread where if you look at the double page spread and you just look at the left page, it just looks like a peaceful city, and then you look at the right page and Maki is running right into a train, and you can see there's a train right on the tracks where he's about to smack it. It's all to make sure that maximum people get screwed over in the middle of rush hour traffic.
Off topic, real quick. There was the last panel of the last chapter when Deku was pulling a Batman, brooding over the city. That line that he gives, a giant villain. I know that's from I think that was literally his first line in the entire series when he saw Kamui Wood. I was about to say Kamui.
Yeah, that's his first non-flashback line.
Yeah, that was but is that area literally where he first saw him? Is he literally back where he was in the beginning?
So I'm not 100% sure because I've seen some things that could justify it being actually New York, but I also think that there's no reason for Horikoshi not to be willing to just give a building a gargoyle.
Yeah.
So I'm because I'm like, it's not like we have a patent on gargoyles and shit. Like,
Word, right? Like it's
so
a
I'm like,
gargoyle.
let's see what happens. My hope, actually, like so I mentioned this last night on Twitter, I was like, I need Deku to have a couple rematches because that's the difference between having a couple villains in your story and having an established rogues gallery.
Oh yeah, I saw you said that on stream last time. You want him to run
Yeah,
into the villains as he met them, and I think somebody actually said that he wanted them to run into the villains based on like the level of understanding.
yeah, but like just to establish him as an actual rogues gallery, like he's fought or encountered these villains multiple times. Like those are his like enemies now. So like people are like, what if it's like the one from the first chapter? He's one of the people who got like broken out. And I'm like, yeah, like let's have Deku like not have to stand there on the sidelines all wide-eyed and giddy. Like have him fight him all grumpy and mad like as he is.
The one that I absolutely want to see, because you know how horrifying that fight was, is for him and Muscular. I want Deku to stand in front of Muscular with that. He got his mask on to hide the fact that, yeah, I can't smile right now. Muscular walks up. Oh, it's you again.
Yeah.
And then just tries to walk off. You're not causing villainy right now. I have something more important to do. Muscular is taking it personal. Don't fucking ignore me. And Midoriya to just just body him. Just absolutely body him. That's how. Look, just to show how far Midoriya has come at this point.
I legit want him to like Leaf Whirlwind this man. Like I want him to kick him in the ankles with those Iron Tims, bro. Shatter his ankle with that 45% smash.
Deku versus Muscular round 2, that would be dope, bro. I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for it. But the one character that I absolutely, oh my god, want to see, especially because we didn't get much of him when the breakout happened, and that's goddamn Stain.
Oh, yo, you mean the man who swam from Tartarus?
Oh my god. Bruh.
The man who swam from Tartarus?
That nigga did
on
not
some
swim.
Rayleigh?
That nigga did
yes,
not
he
swim
did.
through Tartarus. He did not swim through Tartarus. Hold up.
He swam from Tartarus.
No, I'm going to the wiki, bruh. My hero stayed.
Because if you see he's like coming out the water, he didn't leave with the rest of the villains. He dipped.
I mean, that's smart as hell, though. Why would you stick with the crowd? You're a better target like that.
Yeah, no. So he like dipped out, and like you see him pop out some water. So I'm pretty sure he swam from Tartarus.
Bro, Stain is that nigga. Stain is that nigga. My entire OC cap. By the way, I've finally gotten to the point of obsession with my hero that I have an OC character. Like that. That's how you know I'm enjoying this. What is that? Is that me?
No, I think that's a tow truck. Hold on.
Oh, I thought that was coming from outside of me. You good? You good?
Yeah. They wouldn't be towing me anyway. So
no, I thought the aliens had finally showed up to give everybody superpowers. I thought something was about to go down. But yeah, Stain has gotten to the point Stain has gotten to the point of favorite characters for me, to the point where if he doesn't exist, my OC character's backstory doesn't exist. My OC character, his parents were one of Stain's first victims.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you know, I gotta represent Twice and Jamie Madrox, Multiple Man. Ooh. My OC character, he does have the quirk is called Divide and Conquer.
Okay.
Yeah, multiply, but it's not like Twice, where everybody is like, I'm the original. No, I'm the original. No, motherfucker, you know I'm the original. You know I'm the original. We're not about to have this war between clones. That shit is.
Yeah, you have you're younger than Twice. You get a better version of Twice's quirk. That's how it works.
Yeah. I get a better version, but it's more of a combination of quirks. 6th Sense, enhanced agility and speed, and a little bit of strength. Not to the point of not to the point of Midoriya, where this motherfucker is blowing away giant 0-point robots. But we're not talking about my OC character. But yeah, Stain, he really is popping up out of water.
Yeah, Yeah, he swam.
This man swam out of Tartarus. What the fuck? Shadow Clone Silvers, yes, that is how his quirk works. All
Like,
of the fatigue that's from his clones, my OC character gains that fatigue back. Yes, that's how it works. But yo, this nigga Stain, this man, what the fuck? But yeah, if Midoriya runs into Stain, let me ask you this: do you think that they are going to be they're going to have an understanding of I respect your conviction, or is Stain going to have an issue with the path that Midoriya has chosen now?
so what's interesting is that I
Oh,
could see.
but real quick for anybody who hasn't read the latest chapter of My Hero,
Oh yeah.
please avoid this because we are talking about like how Midoriya is progressing and where he is now. I feel like this is late. That's this late into the stream, but damn, better late than never. But yeah, go ahead.
So with that, I kind of could see because we know that Stain wasn't actually ever fighting them at full power. This is something that's kind of discussed. Like, yeah, they're like he could have probably killed us multiple times, and if you think about it, he managed to nail Todoroki with 2 knives in his left arm. When Todoroki was distracted, he could have just threw 2 more in his chest.
Because
there's plenty of times where Stain could have just straight up killed both of them.
Looking at Stain, especially after my semi reread, finding out that he wasn't using like his full capability, I kind of came to the conclusion that like based off of what he was doing, he's trying to figure out who is worthy and who isn't. After he deems you unworthy of the title of a hero, that's when he just decides, okay, this is over. This is absolutely over. It was just the fact that Todoroki, Ida, and Midoriya interfered. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for Todoroki and Midoriya, I'm pretty sure Ida would have been dead already.
Oh yeah, he specifically didn't want Deku and Shoto dead, and that's the only thing that kept Ida alive.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that based off of the person that Ida is now, do you think Stain would accept him as a hero?
Yes, but I could see us getting to see like actual Stain at his like peak fighting now, and it being technical enough that like he still can give Midoriya a bit of a run before Midoriya like uses like just does like a big black whip attack or something like that he can't answer for. But it's designed to like bring him back finally. Like you need to realize like what you really stand for.
In all honesty, even with everything that Midoriya has, I'm expecting Stain to even be able to go up against all of that. With float, with black whip, even with his sixth sense. Shit, Midoriya has a sixth sense that.
Because I don't think their fight would be outdoors. I think they would end up meeting up like somewhere in like a basement or whatever. So he wouldn't be able to just be like, well, I'm just gonna fly and that'll be it.
That's another thing that Hero Academia does that most shonens don't do. No matter how strong a lot of these characters get, the fights still are tactical. You still have to think about every single move that you... Well, not every single move, but you get what I mean. You still have to think about the moves that you do. You still have to take into account the environment that you're in. Whereas something like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and even One Piece, they will purposely destroy the entire environment, the entire building that you're in, just to give these characters an open field to fight in. Whereas Hero Academia, a lot of these characters aren't built. Well, I'm not going to say they aren't built for wide open spaces, but the fight is more interesting, and you have to put a lot more thought into the fight when it's indoors. And for somebody like Stain to be going up against Midoriya on an indoor fight, I would absolutely love that.
Because the like with Dragon Ball Z, like occasionally they just leave, right? But with My Hero, you don't like the whole point is they want to do a bad thing right here. So you can't be like, hey villain, you and I are going over there to fight. And then if you win, you can come back over here to do your crime, I guess.
Like no, I'm going to kill these people and you're going to try and stop me. That's the whole point. There is no honor among thieves here. I'm a bad person. That's
literally what Muscular speech was. I'm a bad person that wants to kill people. Yeah, and heroes be like, don't do that. So I killed them.
I'm not doing this because like I have a specific reason. I'm a bad person. They told me I can't do it, and I proved them wrong. Muscular isn't that the whole reason that Muscular killed the Lord Dude's parents?
He straight up said it to him as like the kid was like, I don't know why. He's like, don't blame me because your parents wanted to fight me because I wanted to kill people. Like,
For real, I wanted to kill people. They said you can't, and I killed people. This is a bad person. He's not going to go, hey, okay, you want to move over to this specially made arena? Fuck no. These people here that I have tied up are going to die.
Somebody pointed this out. They said that the Toga versus Ochako fight was actually a good example of this. And yeah, because if you remember, she got like knocked down and she was like, let me touch that, and that. And then Toga was like, let me ask you a stupid question. Or let me ask you a question that you won't understand the context of because you don't understand because I just say a bunch of weird shit to you. And Ochako was like, I don't know what you talk about, but if you're gonna wild out, I'm gonna beat your ass with all these old people's possessions. So, and I'm sure they'd be cool with that since you murdered both of them and proceeded to beat her ass with all their possessions. Like,
do you see Toga? Because I've seen a lot of theories on it. Do you see Toga switching sides?
No,
not at all.
No, the whole point of getting her ass beat by Ochako specifically was so that she wouldn't. To me, she left. It's sad, and she's going to come back with a new resolve. And then her coming back.
And that's what I mean. That's what I mean because a lot of people's basis for their theories was the fact that she was sad is because she couldn't understand the reason that she was still doing all of this. And the fact that she was a good person is just that society had her like hiding that smile, had her like putting that away because they thought she was creepy. And the only person that actually kind of understands her was one, it was Twice, and another, the person that she's in love with on some tsundere shit being Midoriya, but you know the whole him and the chocolate thing. I need to find the theory, and I will send it to you when I do find it. But the whole point of it was Toga is going through some type of she's dealing with a lot of inner demons, and that her whole inner monologue essentially is telling her you have to rethink what you're doing. Whether it's joining their side or just leaving the League of Villains, because she does care about Twice, and I think that's one thing that Hero Academia does that I think that Horikoshi could do a lot with, where Toga does leave the League of Villains, but she's not joining the heroes because she still blames Hawks for Twice's death.
So I think my thing with that is that she is genuinely attached to all of the league. Mm-hmm. And moreover, I think she was trying to, because in the process of validating herself, if she herself is validated, then as far as she's concerned, because she becomes the people she loves, her people are valid too. So she wasn't only just seeking that validation for herself, but for the rest of the league, which is why she also asked if Jin was a person. So like she's like, damn, if he's not a person and Ochako won't save me, then they'll never look to save and protect the people in the league, and those are the people I love, even though Dabi stays roasting her.
Yeah, like, I was just about to say, like, do you think that applies to Dabi as well? Because he's kind of a piece of shit.
Toga loves indiscriminately. She's the manifestation of agape with a yandere twist. But like Dabi listened to a couple too many Future songs because, like, my man being here.
I love and hate this about My Hero. It's how, I don't want to say complex, but it's the line of thinking that a lot of these characters go through. Dabi was actively roasting. He was burning Twice alive. And Twice still had the mentality of, this is my friend, he's not going to hurt me. And he ultimately died because of it. And he still had the strength to go tell Ochako, like, yo, listen, I cared about you. Does she still have his blood? Does she have his blood?
I don't know.
Because she has can she store people's quirks now on some heroes shit?
No, I think
or did she have Ochako's blood
when she had a sample of her blood that during MVA? That's what one of those capsules on her belt was.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, because if she had that shit from Heroes, that would have made her absolutely broken. She stored people's quirks.
I think she has to be romantically in love with you to be able to use your quirk, not just
Oh,
love
seriously?
you. So yeah.
You think she's
So
romantically in love with Uraraka?
yeah,
Is
yeah.
she? I thought it was just Midoriya. Or
No,
did
I think
she
she
did
loves them
she
both.
gain some kind of affection for Uraraka? I think, bro, I'm going to have to go back through My Hero again. And the reason that I'm trying not to get too attached to a lot of other series is because of my One Piece obsession. And
Yeah,
and you see how you fuck the fucking, I'm not gonna say his name, but the F server days,
yeah.
the purple disaster days.
We spent
We have talked One Piece to the point where I really don't think there's any much like anything else to talk about.
there was weeks where we would get like everybody would be up like across like wherever we were, like as if we're talking US time. It's like okay, it's like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's awake by now. And then it's like, okay, everybody's in Discord in the VC. Oh, okay, some of us are at work. Oh, that person's back from work. Oh, that person just
Yeah,
went to
right,
work. Oh, that person who went to work at 1 is back because it's 10 and we're still in VC
bro.
and we're still talking about One Piece.
I used to get off work
Uh,
at like 3:30, and as soon as I hit that clock out button, look at Discord, I see 2 people hop in, 3 people hop in. As soon as I get on the bus, 5 people are in VC. Put my headphones in, yo, what y'all talking about? And instantly, I'm already caught up. I
yep.
don't want to do that for a lot of other series because of how much I like One Piece. I don't want to lose the interest that I have in One Piece because I'm so interested in another series. And I think
I
that's
mean,
one of the reasons that I'm putting off a lot of other series that people hype up. On top of me having the Star Wars effect of everybody hyping everything something up to the point where I'm just not interested.
okay, so it's very important. That's kind of why it worked out that like when we became friends and stuff that like I was probably like the only person in the service that really liked My Hero
Yeah.
because then it was like, well, Smash likes My Hero, and he finally got like Shisui in him to like really start appreciating it. So I guess I'll check it out finally since like we had to fight for that. But then like at the same time, I was getting like Black Clover bound back in the day. You remember like every now and then I'd bring up My Hero, and then somebody would instantly be like, "Well, Black Clover is better," and I'd be like, "All right, yeah, whatever."
I still look at Black Clover as it has more in common with Naruto than My Hero started off with. And My
Did.
Hero started off with some strong Naruto vibes, but I hate when people make that comparison because if you really want to get down to it, just copied Hunter x Hunter. Naruto just copied what Hunter x Hunter. From the tuning exam to the relationship that Naruto and Sasuke have compared to Gon and Killua. Can we stop with the comparison? A series is good because a series is good.
I'm also
Let
gonna
it
just
go.
point out that like the only real basis that like for the comparison was that he wanted to be like the #1 hero, and that he wasn't that well liked in the beginning by the people around him.
That's pretty much the
And that's
thing.
like, and it's like that's normal in a bunch of stuff. Like, what are you talking about?
That is the normal starting point for most shonen, and it gets infuriating. But at the same time, I can't really like talk down to people who do it because, oh excuse me, because I was one of the people who did that to Black Clover. I gave Black Clover a chance, but I kept drawing too many comparisons to Naruto, and I was like, I don't want to watch Naruto again, so I'm just gonna
Yeah,
move away from it. Later on, I got back into Black Clover, and when I saw my nigga Fuego Leon light his arm up and start walking towards somebody like I'm about to fuck you up, I was
right.
like,
I started
yes,
having fun with Black Clover when people stopped selling me Black Clover.
exactly.
That's when, like, once people stopped trying to sell me Black Clover, I was like,
I'm finally
Zora's
gonna give this a
go,
chance,
Noct is great. I'm automatically a sucker for like any sensei character. Like,
bro.
oh, like, I don't like the fact that Julius came back, but I enjoy Julius still, like talk like the way he interacts with like everybody. Yami automatic W,
Bro,
like
Yami's a swordsman type character.
exactly.
I grew up in an era of anime and manga where swordsman characters were rare. That's why I got into one. That's why I loved One Piece so much because the swordsman character, he didn't just use a sword; he used 3 of them, and that was his main point of combat. It wasn't just I had this sword, I'm gonna use it and then throw it away to shoot lights out my hands. No, but yeah, the oh my god,
which is why I'm guessing like the fact that a lot of One Piece swordsmanship now is giant air slashes is kind of painful.
You don't understand my disappointment. I think that's another reason that I want Tashigi to show up so much. She's not that much of an accomplished... Well, she's an accomplished swordsman, but she's not so strong as where she can cut mountains in half. So she can't throw air slashes like that, or like the air slashes that she does throw, they're small. So she has to get up close and personal. That's one of the reasons that I like her.
You know what's... Okay, this is another subversion that Oda managed to pull off. Like, basically the best sword fight post time skip was in Punk Hazard between Law and Smoker.
Bro, oh my god, yes.
Like,
Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking god. I'm really trying to think of another sword fight. Oh my fucking god. I wanted to say Zoro versus Jews versus the octopus guy, but that wasn't a sword fight. Nope. Zoro pushed him back, and he kept trying to come back, and then a quick flash, all his swords are broken. And then Onigiri.
You got a little fleshing out with like Kyoshiro, but that wasn't like a complete fight in the manga.
In the manga, that was the best fight. In the anime, the best sword fight was Zoro versus Killer when he was Kamazo the Manslayer.
Yeah, they finally like upped that. Also,
but even
thank
that
God,
was just flying slashes.
Yeah, like as far as like an actual swordsmanship choreography, I don't think anything's going to be topping Law vs. Smoker because that had a lot of straight up blade to blade contact. And technically, it's not even a sword fight because that's not what he uses.
Yeah, right. And people, and like as much as I love sword fights, people automatically thought, "Yo, you probably love Demon Slayer, right?" That was a conflict right there for me because everybody was trying to sell me Demon Slayer. Everybody was hyping up Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer's gonna beat One Piece. Demon Slayer this, Demon Slayer. Shut up, please. Oh, you're finally reading Demon Slayer? You're finally watching Demon Slayer? Yeah. Oh, did you see when... Now I'm not reading no more. I love sword fights, and when I finally did get into Demon Slayer and watch the anime, this shit blew me away. Because it was actual sword choreography and not just, I'm just gonna swing my sword and like that statue over there fell apart. It hurts. Ooh.
Did you ever get around to Jigo Karaku?
Jigo Karaku.
Hell's Paradise.
I finished that, bro. I finished it. What are you talking about? I finished it when the last chapter came out. Bruh.
Okay, because like my thing was, I was like, I can't believe, because like I was reading that while Demon Slayer was running, and I was like, nah, bro, the wrong swordsmen are famous right now.
Bro, I can't. Oh my god.
I can't. They need to do this anime right.
They need to do the anime, but I want the author to expand it. Tell me spoilers for Hell's Paradise. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it again. You had your warning. There it is. Tell me you did not shed a tear when Mai didn't make it off. Tell me you didn't you shed a tear, bro.
Doug, no, that messed me up especially because it was like the Genjutsu paired with it.
Bruh.
I was like...
She made them believe that she made it off. She made them believe. And I was like, oh, wait, she did make it out. And then you just see her wilting in the back. I'm like, nigga. She was the one who deserved to get off, to get out of there.
That whole situation, dog, all right, my favorite character was Shion. Gabimaru, though.
Bruh,
Gabimaru was like, so straightforward, so noble, so honest.
If they made that into a longer running series, the theme of is his wife real or not would have been a beautiful, that would have been too stressful.
It was stressful enough, like for that, like 30, 40 chapters we had to deal with it. I don't need to deal with that for like 3 years.
No, but tell me that didn't fuck you up though. It
did.
Especially when the new Gabimaru showed up, and she was like, "Wait, you actually believe your wife is real? You do know we're a village of ninja. Deceit is our thing. And not even just that, we are a village of known illusionary ninja."
Yeah, they're we famous for lying.
And the title of Gabimaru, you know this. Gabimaru is the most manipulated murderer that we have. And you think that your wife was real? And he really went through the motions for like one chapter, and his whole conviction was she's real. And he didn't take no for an answer.
Like he wasn't going to, didn't have to, and was rewarded for such behaviors.
For real.
You,
For real. I wanted a conflict between. This is why I wanted it to be a longer running series. I wanted the conflict. I wanted to see the conflict between him and the head of the village. I wanted him to murder him on screen. But they was like, nah. We went to the village. They were all dead. They were all dead.
The way people, like, that's the other thing. The way people got murked in this series was like, like, just like people get murked for shock, and then there's like people like the way like they get murked for like depth or value. And like early on, you get to like that sense of like a lot of deaths, and then it's like, okay, the story doesn't just keep going with people dying left and right because they do everything in their power to like keep their numbers properly staffed until they start taking more L's. And like this all tracks is what you're supposed to do. Cool.
Tenza, his sacrifice hit me so hard. First off, he landed on the island instantly going, yeah, I'm getting you the fuck out of here. You're not a bad person. You're not a bad person. I'm getting you out of here. And then the relationship that they built when he sacrificed himself to hit and told the sensei, the person who believed that all of these people are criminals regardless of who you are. Trusted him to take care. Oh my God. And then the fucking flash forward of what his life could have been.
Yeah, that was... Whew.
I broke down. And then I'm like, maybe he'll get out of here. Maybe he'll come back later on. And then I got the Attack on Titan feel. When you first started Attack on Titan, and then you saw that first big massacre. That's how I felt when I saw him. When I saw him holding his body. I'm like, oh shit, niggas in this series are about to die. A lot of them are about to die. And this is one point of subverting expectations, because I know we still on that topic, because we gonna need to switch over in a second.
Yeah. I'm ready to send the message in the chat when they're ready.
The subverting expectations, it's been built up that everybody in this series is expendable. Everybody. The two Bandit brothers. The first one, the one who got his powers, he died until the end, and we found out, yeah, he can grow back from this seed. They're in fucking Europe taking everything over.
Yeah, which I love too. That made sense. I was like, that tracks. Make sense.
But when they were leaving the island, and he made the premonition of one woman and one man will survive. After everything that went down, I love everybody that's leaving. I love what was his name? He was the
Gantetsu.
No, the kid doctor. The one
bro. Oh no. Oh, it was Fuji.
Bro. I didn't throughout the entire thing, I didn't know that he died. He patched up Big Guy. He patched him up and he was laying there. I didn't think that they were really gonna kill him. Like, I didn't think they were really gonna kill him off. I thought he was fine. I thought he just passed out. But when the big guy woke up and was like, wait, did you patch me up? You went through all of that to patch me up. Why? I thought he picked him up and they were dipping out. No, he gave up the last bit of his life to make sure he survived. It broke me.
The explanation made sense too, though, because he was like,
hold on, Smash, give me a second.
Wait.
But yeah, bro, it made sense, but it broke my heart. And when he said that two people, only one man and one woman. No, I think he said
2 men, 1 woman.
2 men and 1 woman will leave this boat alive. I get what he meant now is that none of their, like, they're killing off their identities. They changed their identities by the end. But leading up to that point, especially fighting this motherfucker,
that was stressful. That was stressful.
Like, please don't kill Shion. Please don't kill Shion. Please don't kill Shion. Two men and 1 woman. I had to make a choice between Shion and what was the ninja girl's name? Fuck. Something.
Yeah, it was like Yuzuhira.
Yeah, here it is. Yuzuhira. Yeah, Yuzuriha. Wait, is that it? Yep. I just called the Yuzu. I couldn't pronounce that. I had to make a choice between Shion and her. And ultimately, I chose her. And then the whole series ended, and I was happy. But at the same time, I wish we got a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm just glad, but I take it because I'm like, you know what? It's better than it going too long and like ruining itself.
It was short and to the point, leaving me wanting more rather than being long and overstaying its welcome and just me wishing it ended.
Yeah, like Seven Deadly Sins. But we're not going to talk about that.
Oh, The Rock. The Rock falling on her. Goodbye, everybody. This is goodbye, Rock.
We're not doing that one. We're not doing that. Let's switch over to good.
Let's move back to Hero Academia. Let's move on to the prisons. The which is the better prison, or which prisons do you prefer? Before we even jump into it, Smash, you committed a crime so heinous that you have been sentenced to the lower level of one of these two prisons. Which one are you taking?
If I'm going to the absolute lowest level, like if I'm going 6th floor Impel Down or bottom floor Tartarus,
yeah,
6th floor Impel Down.
I agree with you, simply because 6th floor Impel Down seems like it's just a normal ass prison.
Right.
Whereas every floor above it, you got them being boiled alive to the point they're liquefying and their blood is being left behind as to look like lava. You got a freezing hell. You got just a place where monsters are roaming around. Ace and Jinbei were just sitting there chilling.
Right. And like,
oh, go ahead.
If you go to like the lowest level of Tartarus, there's guns that apparently, like they say, if you think about activating your quirk, you can be shot.
Pew.
I don't even know how they could possibly know that, or if they mean that literally or not. But if there's a chance this could be something made with a quirk that, so I'm like, nah, bro.
And Hero Academia has gotten to the point where I would not be surprised if they have some type of scanner that reads facial features and muscle and body heat and all that shit to understand your line of thinking. It doesn't necessarily have to be reading your mind, but every thought that you has causes some type of reaction in your body. I want in real shit, I want ice cream right now, and I'm playing with my hands thinking about ice cream right now. And yeah, if I want ice cream, they'll know I want ice cream, especially if they're analyzing you all that time.
Right.
And
it's
if you're at that point of Tartarus, you're down there for a reason. Aren't they torturing you for information? If you're down there, don't they want
secretly
from you? Yeah, secretly, but they're still torturing you for information.
So we don't even know what they're doing. We don't even know what the torture is.
Yeah,
at least we know. I'm not signing up for unknown torture.
At first, when I first came up with this topic, I was like, that thought did cross my mind. I'm like, wait, but everybody in level 6 of Impel Down is slated to be executed, right? No. Jinbei was down there. He's not to be executed, but let's just look at Jinbei as a special case because they only threw him down there because he refused to fight in the war. Yeah. There were people that were probably in there for years that Blackbeard broke out. So essentially, you're just in there with a bunch of cellmates that, what's the worst? You don't get food every day? Okay, kill the dude next to me. At worst, I'm becoming a cannibal. But what's
that is literally your worst fate. But if you put me in the 5th floor, the desert hell, or then it's like I don't know.
Desert, I will take the cold over I take the heat, but
yeah,
don't ask me to pick an extreme of either one.
Because the thing with the cold hell is that ultimately it'll be a little awkward at first, but you can get some cuddle buddies. Y'all can make it.
My mind's telling me no, but my body.
It's telling me don't die. You can get through it together.
But
the most you're gonna do.
If you're in Impel Down, how many of these people are actually gonna huddle up together? Because remember when Luffy was moving past all of them, they were huddled up by themselves, just looking off, and they were freezing. The one that I respect is Bon Clay. That man made the most out of it. He was in there dancing, staying active so he could stay warm. He even had everybody in his cell moving with him to the point where they exhausted themselves out. They passed out. I respect it. But yeah, if I had to choose between the two, I'd definitely take Impel Down. Level 6 Impel Down. It's just the worst I gotta worry about is the person I'm in the cell with.
And depending on how strong they are, they might murk you so quick it don't matter.
Exactly. In Tartarus, from what I know, I'm strapped to a chair. I got something on my head. An Incredibles syndrome layer amount of wall of guns aimed at me. So I not only have to keep my composure to stop myself from being electrocuted, for maybe even spiked through the chest, but I also have to have like monk level concentration to even think about, okay, if I wiggle my arm like this, I can get this free. As soon as I have that thought, those guns are getting trained on me.
And like we were talking about, the way to break out of Impel Down is you and some strong enough niggas get together and you get like, and then you just like murk a bunch of people. But like, what you need for breaking into Tartarus is specific sets of quirks and abilities that can like shut down all the technology.
Move through walls. It's pretty much, you need the X-Men in their entirety, not the X-Mansion. You need the island. You need Genosha plus their new island in order to break into this place. Impel Down. So, essentially, all you need is somebody on the outside who has access to it. Hide under their clothes, and on top of it, you already have allies in Impel Down. There are legit people who have broken out and are living inside the walls. They even created an entire separate floor for themselves.
Was it 3.5, 4.5?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, Impel Down level 0.5. It is Yeah, I think it's 5.5.
Okay, 5.5.
5.5. 5.5. That's where fucking Ivankov created his Okama paradise. Like it's wild that this even exists inside the world government's most secure prison. Tartarus.
If anything, I would say the reason why it can exist is because it's so secure, because there's probably so much extra layering between the floors that like when you break in there and like make your little room, because it's not like each floor didn't have high ass ceilings too.
Yeah, it really
so did. You got like all these high ceilings and all this extra space in between the floors. You just carve out a hole and it makes sense.
But the fact that it is so secure is probably why I'm having trouble believing that you were able to escape and create this paradise inside a prison. Like, how did you get out? Well, granted, we know that Morley was the one who initially built it. Like he tunneled through it and made the new level. But still,
yeah, we did get that confirmation. Okay, so this is a random thought, because I've been trying to figure out how he got into it. Like if if Morley was underground, went all the way deep underground, way deep, then went all the way like up through the ground to go under the prison, or if he was like in prison and then somehow never got like hit with any sea stones so he could activate a devil fruit to do all that. But then I was like, what if somebody died in his cell and then he just ate the fruit?
He was able to do it
and got it.
If Buggy was able to do it, Morley would have been able to do it. Buggy, as much of a joke as Buggy is, I gotta say he does have a certain notoriety to him. There's no way they should not have known, especially because he was in the East Blue. He was really well known in the East Blue. They should have known he had a devil fruit. That's one. If he was able to get in and get placed into a cell that didn't require sea stone cuffs, if they didn't know he had a devil fruit, I'm pretty sure Morley would have been able to do it.
They did have Buggy on the easiest floor, or like the best floor for his power.
All he had to do was chop himself up and push through the bars. Like that's literally all he had to do.
Well, like and he had to go work in the field of blades, but like it didn't matter because he was Buggy.
Yeah, right. Go and say Tartarus versus Impel Down is honestly the epitome. Wait, damn! I think I might be illiterate right now.
No, the epitome of technology versus sticks and stones. The of was missing.
Yeah. No, because I'm looking at epitome and that don't look right. Epitome. Alexa, spell epitome. Never mind.
I think
Fuck
it's
it.
good.
I don't care. Yeah. You know how you look at some words and it's just like that don't look right.
Yeah, that word's ugly.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, the epitome of technology versus sticks and stones. I think I can agree with that.
Yeah,
Tartarus is literally high technology. The comparison is literally high technology versus the most dangerous of like man-made like
simple torture.
Yeah, yeah. It's horrifying. It's horrifying. Like when I say horrifying, I mean horrifying. Like you wouldn't. It's the extremes of both sides. Because like Smash just said, it's like they have guns, they have turrets that can literally sense your thoughts. And if you even have the slightest inkling of, I may be able to escape this way, you're getting riddled with bullets. Whereas Impel Down, you can think about escaping all you want. You're in what is essentially the coldest place on Earth.
Yeah, like what keeps you in Impel Down isn't a bunch of automated stuff. It's just literally the environment of Impel Down. You can run all the way from, one exit to the fourth floor or whatever, all the way to the entrance to, but you still got to travel that distance. Like it's miles wide. You still got to go through the desert. So fine, go ahead, run away, run through the desert, do it.
Hell, I'm pretty sure that's why in the cold hell, in the frozen hell, when Luffy was talking to some of them, didn't he even say, yo, we can get you out of here? And they're like, we can get out of here too, but that's not why we're staying in here. That's not why we don't leave. The reason we don't leave is because of the wolves out there. We're not equipped to take them on. And then on top of the wolves, you have the guardian beast, you have the basilisk, and you got the jailer beast, awakened zones. This is literally hell.
And sometimes they're not even near you, but it doesn't matter if they're actually by you or not, because it takes so long for you to travel, and there's so much, like, their strides are bigger, or they're just bigger creatures that you likely end up in their route anyway.
Let's say you can trek through the desert or the frozen hell if you are on those floors. By the time you get to the stairs to head to the next floor, let's just say you're able to trek through and get to a floor that has normal like just building conditions. Now you're so physically exhausted from that journey that once you do come across any of the jailers, any of the beasts, any of the monsters that are in there, you're so physically spent that you just cannot fight them. It's pretty much impossible.
Yeah, like you're gonna just sit there and be very down bad. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
But now look at Tartarus. That took an entire operation, like an entire planned operation, in order to break the strongest person in. What we can assume is the strongest person in existence in their out. And you know what that took? It took the strongest person in existence taking over somebody's body and still incorporating a lot of other quirks into that.
So, and one of the things that I think is worth noting is that they had to do it on like 3-second intervals. And the fact that it had to be two of them seems to imply that even with as strong as he is, that like that big burst must have at least a 6-second charge time.
Bro, with Tartarus, I would say it's the more terrifying prison because of its technology and because of how much planning has to go in just to maneuver through this place with you breaking in and then coming out. Coming out, once you have everybody going on a rampage, look at what Stain did. He looked at the crowd moving that way and he went that way.
Yeah, but what Stain did is something that a lot of people, like it's similar to Impel Down in the sense that like you'd have to jump out and swim somewhere, and most people aren't making it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that you can compare the two. They're both in the middle of what is essentially an impossible swim. Impel Down. Yeah. No, and that's another thing about Impel Down. It's in the calm belt. That's another thing about it's just the environment. If you can swim through the calm belt, I'm sorry, you deserve to get out of this prison. You escape. Let's put somebody in level 6. They moved from level 6 all the way up through the frozen heat hell. I mean, through the frozen hell, through the burning hell, through the boiling blood, through the guards, the jailers, through all of that. Got all the way out, stood on top of the high ass walls of this prison, looked down, and you see there's no wind. You got ships and stuff out here, sure, but a naval battleship, you can't operate that by yourself. So you need to make allies on the way out. But even still, all of them aren't sailors. But let's just say you did this by yourself. You got out by yourself. Can't trust nobody on the prison break. They'll stab you in the back first chance they get. You out here by yourself. Now you have the mindset of, I'm gonna make this swim. You know how far it is to the nearest island. It's about, let's just say for an Olympic athlete. No, for a fishman. Let's just give this escapee the fishman fucking persona.
Yeah.
For a fishman, the average swim is about 3 hours. I can swim fast as fuck, but I am not capable
10 times faster.
I'm not capable of taking on a sea king. I'm a fishman, I can swim, but I am not capable of taking on a sea king. I'm in level 6 of Impel Down because of my mind, not because of my physical strength. They are not. That's just another piece of the environment that you just will not escape. This Calm Belt is a sea king nest.
Yep, because the water itself, not your enemy. It's what's in the water for the Calm Belt. Which is kind of like the reverse of like how it is like in Impel Down, Tartarus, since you got standard water conditions. So now you got to fight the current, and you got to hope that like the current isn't pushing you back to the prison.
And that's even with us giving this escapee the added benefit of being a fishman. A normal person jumping into that water, the water definitely is their enemy. The water is still their enemy. Fatigue and all that shit. Have you been in a pool for more than 3 hours? That shit, your body starts to feel
first
heavy.
Off, you step out the water and you have to relearn how to walk. Bruh.
Go to we got something around here called it's a trampoline park. Everything, all the floors are made of trampolines. Jump constantly for 5 minutes. And then walk on solid ground. The ground will feel like it has its own I don't know how to explain it. The ground feels harder, and then I want you to try and jump. You will not get more than half a centimeter off the ground. I promise you. It's impossible. Yeah. Now imagine that times 100 because you just spent more than 3 hours in the water. Now, let's look at Tartarus. Put somebody at the very lowest level of Tartarus. Now, depending on this person's quirk or their abilities, they could smash through the walls. Flood the entire place. Now they have to deal with hundreds of meters of water pressure.
So maybe you're muscular.
Yeah. So swim up, and again, water pressure. You got to hold your breath. I think somebody in Baki did that shit. You got to hold.
Oh yeah, they did actually.
Yeah. You had a dude who swam hundreds of meters of water pressure. You had a dude who scaled like smooth ass walls.
Yeah, because
he cuffed his hand away to where he suction cupped on. Fucking wild. But here are the options for fucking Tartarus. Same scenario. You're strapped down into that chair. Some type of helmet that could electrocute you. You got guns trained on you, ready to riddle you with bullets every time you if you even have the inkling of escaping. That's the first part. Let's just say you get past that. The guns go down for a second. You have the tech on the outside. That's already part one of this is already scarier than Impel Down. Impel Down on the inside. You need somebody either on the outside or on the inside.
You objectively need somebody. You probably need multiple somebodies because more than likely you don't know what's outside the door of your cell either, because it's not like level 6 in Impel Down where it's just bars. You literally are in a room. Like you saw like Moonfish's cell, like he was just in a room like an asylum room, like with his teeth all pressed up against the wall and stuff.
Here Tartarus is a terrifying prison that if I had like we said in the beginning, if I had to make a choice, I would definitely choose Impel Down. simply because Tartarus has technology versus
like,
natural disaster. I think I probably have a better shot at braving the elements.
yeah, like okay, so even if it's the desert one, you can technically like coat yourself in sand, do stuff like that. Like, yeah, the sand is technically the bones of dead people, but like you can do stuff to like decrease like the heat effects on you. And like I said, like if you make allies in the cold area, you guys can do stuff and like train or whatever to help yourself stay warm. Like you can do things in certain levels to combat that. Like obviously not like boiling hell. That's just like a down bad section, and it is what it is. Same with like when you get stuck walking through the Blade Gardens, but like,
bruh,
level 6, you just stuck around really dangerous people, and all you got to do
and all of
is
these
not piss people off.
These dangerous people won out just as bad as you. You're in the cell. You can make allies with your cellmates. Plan an escape. That's it.
Create a race game.
Yeah, like, you can escape if you've been in there for at least a year. Like you go into Impel Down, you know nobody, you have no friends, nothing. You can theoretically escape. In Tartarus, you need to have friends before you go in there. You need to have friends because you need somebody. Either let's just give this person, this escapee, somebody on the outside who's a techie, master hacker all around. But they can't shut down the entire prison all at once. Like you said, EMP 3-second intervals. You absolutely need somebody else. You are not escaping Tartarus by yourself.
Yep. Like you have to have like the double lockdown initiative. You have to, so because whenever you look at like the way they ran into that prison, you look at like the giant like storm blast, the decay was used, like just like the super strength built in. There was like hiding behind Nomu. So to a certain degree, it's like you have effectively the equivalent, just based off like how strong the near high end are. That's like 8 top 10 heroes raiding a base.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
they
still needing help from the inside.
They did have the near high ends. It wasn't just normal Nomus.
Right. So you got like the highest caliber, like the second highest caliber of, you know, the undead army. You got amped up vestige Shiggy, and they still need old man all for one in the prison to do something too.
Right. Damn, yo, we've been going on for like an hour and a half already. It do not feel like that long.
Oh wow.
All right, but yeah, that whole thing, the whole thing of what is the better prison, what is the most dangerous, the more dangerous prison, what is more likely to hold somebody?
It's all about what floor you're on. That's really what it comes down to.
It's really just about what floor you're on, and it's really just preference. If you had to make a choice if you had to make the choice of what prison you had to go to on the absolute lowest level, which one would you choose? If you have an answer for that, please put it in the comment section. Tag me or Smash on Twitter, and give me an explanation of why. That's really the whole game plan. And if you willing to, write me an essay on how you would fucking escape. Please tell me who
I'll read it.
Yeah,
I'll definitely read it.
I'll put that shit on stream the next chapter break I have. I will read through that shit. Tell me, who are you in prison with? And you can't just say, "Oh, I'm in prison with Kizaru and we made friends so he can cut through everything with light." No. Please be reasonable with who's in these cells. Don't just say the Straw Hats are in these cells. Zoro's not gonna have his swords. Have his swords. Give me a reason.
Don't cheat. Don't make it simple. Like, go ahead, be creative.
Word.
It's like how, did I ever tell you that? Like, for example, for my One Piece OC, since you shared one, I'll give the One Piece one. I actually had a part half martial artist because I wanted a human that used Electro. And so it's like they basically we're gonna get conscripted by the Marines in the New World, and they were like, yeah, no. And so it's like one of those, like, y'all decided that we had to join the military, and that wasn't happening. And for my crew's wanted photos, I actually took every picture and sent it in myself to make sure we had good photos.
That's actually a good quirk too.
Yeah, like I felt like it was like very like One Piece.
Yeah, like you on a pirate crew. You see all these other wanted posters. You're like, that's a horrible picture. I've met this guy, and he is not that angry. Yo, come here. Say cheese. Ching ching. All right, we're gonna send that in. Yeah, your wanted post to come out. See, now doesn't that represent what you're like more than anything else? Bro, that's a funny ass quirk. That's a funny ass quirk. I'm stealing that. Smash. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that shit. But all right, moving on to the next topic of what it means to be a hero, expectations versus reasoning. This is the one that I absolutely wanted. This is why I wanted to make this the main topic of discussion. Is because, talking on Reddit, because every time I join the community, I always start on Reddit. Talking with people on Reddit, I've seen that a lot of people consider Stain to be not a hero, but more of an anti-hero, because even though he was murdering people, even though he was, he was paralyzing people and taking heroes off the streets, his conviction was to make better heroes have this title, to have the best of the best protect the world. His means may have not justified the ends, but his reasoning was sound, in my opinion. And for the most part, I agreed with him. And that's why I feel like that's one of the reasons that I love Stain so much.
I think Stain is like technically on the right path, but there is a certain irony to Stain, and that the thing that he hated most is the thing that is directly on All Might's shoulders, which is the commercialization of heroes. Because All Might was so like, I'm here. Like, it's like, oh, well, we got to be that like hand bony image. We got to make sure we got that. And so I think that that's something that I would love for Stain to evaluate at some point and realize that he was kind of disconnected from who All Might actually is in that regard. And that realize that maybe putting on the show is okay for a hero, but the real issue is more over that when people do these things for selfish reasons, when the chips are down, it's going to create like this hero, like social bubble pop, like we're seeing now, where they're like, oh, wait, because we can actually die now.
Yeah, a lot of the heroes that want to be heroes, all they look at is that commercialization side. I mean, look at who is it, Mineta? Mm-hmm. He wants to be a hero for the fame and glory, not to save people, but
do it for the boobs.
Yeah, do it for the boobs, but that's not necessarily a bad reason to be a hero. He's still saving people. He still does have that justification of, I'm doing this for my reason, but I still have to protect these people's lives. Whereas Stain, if he were to meet Mineta, I'm pretty sure he would cut Mineta down.
He would cut Mineta down way faster than, like, hey, Squid. Like, the way Stain, like, Mineta wouldn't exist. There would be, like, little Mineta sushi rolls from how, like, thoroughly Stain would mince that boy. Like,
but what Stain, what I think that he needs to understand is that the commercialization has to come with that. What he fails to realize is that All Might does have that commercialization. He does, like, pander to, excuse me, All My dolls are $30. That yo, shut the fuck up. But yeah,
you're not lying though.
he has that commercialization. He does flaunt for the cameras, but All Might's main thing is to protect the world. He wants to save people. He puts that smile on for the cameras and everything, so everybody will have hope. And with Stain, and that's why I like Hero Academia so much. My Hero so much is because of you have to actually look at different people's line of thinking, and it may conflict with your ideology of what you believe a hero is and how a hero should act. All Might puts on that smile and everybody thinks it's just for the cameras. He's only doing this for the fame, when in reality, no, he's actually a hero. He's doing this to protect you. He's here for you. And
that's what I think is kind of really going to finally be driven home with these different characters. Like, they were like, you can say like the heroes have been put through a sieve, and those, if you define a hero as somebody who's just like some simple role model, then yeah, that's like not what's going to happen. And you got to think, like, even Best Genius is more than likely going to catch flack for choosing to effectively be dead for like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. Even though it
Over
was
helping fight crime. It's an important mission, but you know,
yeah,
he was out 3 or 4 months.
Where were you when we needed you? Like for the most
Bro,
part.
like just like they put that sign on All Might's statue that's like I'm not here, and it's like, bro,
he died. Like no,
he was in the game for 40 years. What you mean?
He was in the game for 40 years, and the injury that caused him to not be here was to protect you.
And he got it 34 years into the game, so like the dude was like, what you want from him, bro?
All right.
Like,
do you believe that Midoriya is on the right path? Do you think that he like his conviction of being a hero is justified in him leaving and spilling the big secret to all of the people that he cares about?
I think that Midoriya should have told like everybody. I think that's a good step.
Do you think he should have told everybody or only specific people?
No, I think it's fine he told everybody because they all ended up in danger. And so Deku doesn't know if/when Shigaraki knew for sure that he had One for All. So from that perspective, it would be kind of shaky or like questionable to not say, like, explain what happened, because for all he knows, the USJ attacks could have partially been to steal One for All, or so he's just like, hey, this might be why your life has been hell since I've been in school with you. And
like, all right,
that's not exactly why. It's mostly been about killing All Might and like getting, but he doesn't know that. Yeah, so
he doesn't know that, and given like recent events and how everything else has been building up, I could absolutely understand why he would have that mindset of.
Also, do you think Gran Torino's alive? Because I feel like that's why he got the cape. Like, he ain't.
I want him to be, because I love Gran Torino, but he's my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes. What I hope the outcome is that he's critical and he's another comatose person. He's somebody else who is comatose. What kind of rubbed me the wrong way was the fact that both Bakugo and Midoriya's moms survived.
Okay, that was actually a Volk was wrong. That's the only way to put it. He was like, "Oh, this might be like this is Deku's mom. Oh snap, I'm worried for her." And then like the translator, before he got ran off Twitter because of wankers, straight up was like, "That's no, they're on the Wakayama Prefecture. That's not where Midoriya's family lives."
Yeah.
So that was just somebody seeing a bike and running with it, like in the hood.
Yo, you know what's funny as hell? On the way back from my father's house, I saw somebody still on the bike in the rain. Like he had fucking like bolt cutters. He popped the lock off, grabbed it, and just started hauling on it. I'm looking like, did I just witness a bike that? Who still steals bikes? Wait, hold up. Did Silvers finally catch up to My Hero? Yes, I did catch up to My Hero.
Well, I'm mad dude stole a bike in the rain.
Bro, it makes no sense. That chain about to be rusted by the time you get home. But no, I've always been caught up to My Hero. It's just that for the most part, I was just reading it. I was just reading through it. I really wasn't absorbing much of the information. But yeah, bro, dude stole a bike in the rain. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious.
Also, though, I think that Bakugo and Shoto both might be going to try to stop Deku because we didn't see him and them in this last chapter. So I kind of.
You don't think Uraraka might join?
Oh, I think Uraraka is the one who can actually stop him. But I could see us getting like a Deku, Shoto, Bakugo fight, like a
three-way
potentially, yeah. Either 3-way or 2-on-1, depending on if Deku is like way stronger now because of accessing other quirks or not.
I could see a Shoto and Deku fight just to give Endeavor that like the match that he always wanted to see. This person, my son, is going to surpass All Might, and with Midoriya essentially being I guess you'd say the new All Might, the new All Might, or the new symbol, or he wants to be the new symbol of peace. He has All Might's quirk, and Endeavor essentially stepping in. I could see Endeavor essentially stepping in to stop this fight. And I don't want to sound too cliche with it, but that him stepping in to stop that fight is essentially him giving up that original dream of, I'm having kids in order to surpass All Might. Him stepping in to stop them from fighting. Yes, they're still going to try and capture him, but to stop this fight, he's protecting his son, not because this is like my ultimate project, but because if I don't stop this fight, this kid might seriously hurt my fucking child, and that's not happening. And also, you gotta come back to school.
So I don't know if Deku is going to get to go back to school. The reason, okay, so have you ever heard of Shikatsu?
Shikatsu, yeah, of course.
Like Shukatsu.
Shukatsu? Hold on, wait. Is that the? No, that's not the sarin bombs. That's not the sarin attack, is it?
No. That's from the Shinrikyo, the cult video I did.
Yeah. You sent me that.
No. Shikatsu is basically what happens when you're in the last year of college, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that year you got to get a massive important internship so that you can finally get a job. And it's important to note that the companies that you get hired to after that Shikatsu, in Japan, they tend to work for the same company for a minimum of 10 years.
Goddamn.
So so if you think about this is already reflected in Kamui Woods, because if you remember at the start of the series, Deku was oh, he's an up and coming pro, blah blah blah, and he's said to be 27. He would have graduated high school at 17. His Shikatsu would have been for the 10 years, and then went independent. But the Shikatsu starts at sports festival, because that's when you get scouted, put out your applications, get your internships, and then that's how you get your hero practice. So Deku went to the sports festival, got his year in school, got his year getting various internships, and now he's stuck on the job. He's stuck being a grown man when everybody else still gets 2 more years of school.
Yeah.
That's the position he's in. So I don't know if he actually gets to go back or not.
Do you believe that we're headed into a time skip?
I think we need to see a couple more bad events before we can really get a time skip. Where I would say let's say, because I think we need at least Shiketsu to fall before. So the way I kind of see this is with all these schools becoming shelters now, what this actually does is create designated battle points that make it easier to gain access and control over regions of Japan. So
essentially we're setting Japan up to be a big war zone.
Right. Because by consolidating your civilians, you've left more open space where people who are of villainous nature can set up shop and create and establish territories. So if you're by a weaker school and you're oh yeah, let's go to Kitsubutsu, and then it's well, the only heavy hitter here is Shindo, and he's got those earthquake powers. So his telescopic girlfriend gets folded in front of him. He's trying to earthquake things through, and he's catching bullets, and now he's dead, and he's ripped through Kitsubutsu. It's boom, villain territory expanded. Because you know where everybody is, you know everybody's safe, but your enemy knows everybody's there too. And if they have the right forces, they just get to lay siege upon you, and you have civilians to protect that can't fight back. And then if more bases start falling, then the chance of rowdy civilians increases, and then they'll want to start fighting more. And then so some of those bases will get abandoned, which will create more power vacuums. And that's how you get the destabilization. So that's when Deku, if he's for example, if Deku's out of the country, then we're going to see multiple, because there's that theory that he might be in New York. Yeah. So let's say he is in New York. Let's see he's out there. Then we're going to see a couple bases fall before that man comes back to Japan. Now,
me personally, I don't think a time skip is necessary. I do think that the development that all of these characters needs essentially is definitely possible to obtain within the time span that we do have. And if we do get a time skip, it's going to be minor time skips like a week later, 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
it's just time jumps instead of.
I call those time slips. I like to say My Hero time slips.
Yeah.
It's week 2 weeks 3.
Because all you have to do is just set up a set up a, how do I say it? just set up the normality for the current situation that you're in, and then have that time slip, as you like to call it, have the time slip happen, and over that period of time, that's all they've been doing. If Midoriya is going vigilante, which, by the way, keep an eye out for Crawler and my boy Knuckle Dust. They're
I need both of them to come in. I need them in.
Especially if Crawler comes in wearing an All Might hoodie and he runs into Midoriya. Oh my fucking god, I would love that.
Plus, okay, the Crawler will air anybody out. And by this point in the story, I don't care if he was locked up or not. You know, like, let my man be great.
Doesn't Crawler, like, I've been trying to keep up with vigilantes, but like my schedule and my sleep schedule and my work schedule has been fucking me up to the point where the only thing that I'm able to really like keep up with are One Piece and, you know, recently Hero Academia. Doesn't Crawler essentially have something like Gran Torino's quirk? He hops on, like, he can hop off the air, can't he?
Basically, he's got like a pretty high level of power where he can now do like double jumps.
Yeah.
He can go up buildings. It's pretty intense.
Like recently, like two of my favorite heroes were in the same chapter at one time. That was Edgeshot and Aizawa in fucking Vigilantes. Like,
yeah,
Edgeshot was chasing down Crawler, and he was like, "Oh hell no!" He dipped off into a back alley, and Aizawa was like, "Yeah, hide in the shadows and like live in the underworld. That's my territory." And he was just standing there, and I'm like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, because he was like, if you want to box in the back alley, bro, guess what? You just hit the jackpot of back alley boxing ass niggas with a sponsorship. He's like, I do this shit legally, son. You wait. Like,
but yeah,
so
vigilantes are absolutely coming. In my opinion, they're absolutely needed. Everything with Crawler and Knuckle Dust, especially with Knuckle Dust being a former pro hero and with Stain back out there and Knuckle Dust.
Yeah, come on, bro. Don't do us like this. You gotta give it to us.
Give me Knuckle Dust. Dust them knuckles off, boy. Whew. And with him being a former pro hero, I feel like those are two opinions that that Midoriya would absolutely benefit from. Absolutely.
Especially Koichi. Because Koichi is another gentle. Like, Koichi is like the last step, right? Because like you got like, oh, Stain was like a vigilante and he was ridiculous, and then like Gentle technically was a villain, but what he was really doing was like corporate vigilantism.
Yeah.
Which, because he was like, this store is selling bad pudding. Of course I'm gonna rob them. Oh snap! You tried to stop me from stopping this company from being shitty, so I had to whoop you. My bad. Like, I'm not gonna broadcast your L. I gave it to you. You signed for it. It's on your desk, but we ain't gonna show it. Koichi, straight vigilante, pure. None of the extra villain association outside of this potential rap because of niggas trying to arrest them now. But like, it just makes sense.
The only downside to having Crawler and Knuckle Duster and, you know, Pop Step and all of them show up is the potential for spoilers of vigilantes, because right now he's being pursued. Excuse me, he's being pursued and chased down to be arrested, especially after everything that happened with Pop Step. Yeah. And if he shows up now to, you know, trying to give Midoriya that pep talk of vigilantism, like being a vigilante, it's not really the best thing to do. I did it because of X, Y, and Z. You're doing it because you lost faith in like your ability to be an actual hero and to protect the people that you care about. But if you're going to be a hero, that also means that you have to trust the people that you stand by. I made that mistake in not trusting Knuckle Duster and Pop Step at some point. I made the mistake of going off on my own and almost got roasted by Endeavor. Knuckle Duster comes in and he finishes up with that. And on top of it, if Knuckle Duster has his quirk back, that's a big ass fucking spoiler. That's a huge fucking spoiler.
Oh yeah, that would be. Okay. Part of me is like, Knuckle Duster can't get it back, but I mean, if he does, I would love it actually if he got it back, especially because, okay, the video I'm uploading it today. the way I see quirks functioning is as genuine like bacterial diseases.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the reasons why like I'm leaning towards this is because I feel like once you get like one of the menu, like you can adjust to it, right? Like your body will be like, okay, I was born with this set of bacteria. I mean, because you already got bacteria all throughout your gut and your stomach, you have bacteria in you. Like that's just normal. But like there's a couple that, cause harm.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, all right, you get injected with this, especially if you can replicate it. Because one of the things that I forgot to mention is that did you know that they took like a GIF, like an animated GIF of a horse running, and just stuck it in a DNA sequence?
No. What?
Yeah, and then they took it out and then like put it back, and you could still watch it.
What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to send me a link for that.
yeah. Like I'll try to find one of the articles on it later. But you can manipulate DNA to that level. That is how much DNA is just data. And so from that perspective, there's a chance that like you could have like that bacterial set of the original O clock somewhere that's just a more pure concentrate
What was
of it,
the
and then he could get re-injected with it, and since he
who's
had already
the
had that set up, maybe get it back.
who's the
So
asshole who got O'Clock's quirk?
6.
Yeah, there we go. But the thing, like you just went into it, but I was about to say it all just depends on how you think quirks function, and like you said, you believe that it's a type of bacterial infection. If All For One is able to remove that bacteria from your body and give it to somebody else or keep it for himself, would Aries' ability essentially be able to bring that bacteria back if she's just pretty much rewinding time in your personal
Right.
bubble?
So I talked about that, and what her quirk is on the overhaul sense is extracting the function that sets the rewind trigger, then taking it and then genetically modifying it with different codes so that what it effectively says is go into this person's DNA and remove these particular amino acids or protein chains.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, what it does is then like it replaces that with information that says don't grow these back or whatever. But when you make the cure, what you'd be doing is like saying, okay, regrow these phenotypes, regrow these proteins, restart generating these amino acids. And that's why he was able to create both the cure and like by creating the ability to cause like a quirk erasing build, he was also able to recreate and give you back your quirk because it's just effectively being able to access and send information to the same section of your DNA.
Smash, me and my friend Justin known him for most of my life. We have a conversational box called the no box, and the way you just explained quirk is going into the no box. You want to know what's in this box right now, Smash? 100% brain activity, or the theory of 100% brain activity. The cosmic web and multiverse theory, because if you've ever, it's a video of planetary size comparisons that expands out into universes, into galaxies, into the multiverse, into the cosmic web. That shit's in there too. And now, we just gonna use it as a represent. We just gonna use the coin as the representation. And now going into the goddamn no box. Yeah, it's a jar. Shut the fuck up. The process of quirks and how they are activated. No box. I'm glad I don't cover Hero Academia because you need a goddamn PhD just to understand how the goddamn magic system in this series works. But yo, we are going on 2 hours. That is our max for this.
Yep, that's what we agreed.
Bruh, we are 5 minutes away from that 2 hour mark, and I'm happy that I'm cutting it off right here. Thank you. Oh, but real quick, Eden's asked the question in there. Silvers, do y'all think Makia is coming back into the story later? I feel like Makia may have served his purpose, but he may show up. I could absolutely see him showing up again because he is a pawn and a puppet for Shigaraki. He's a tool for him to use later on in the series. He's a gigantic superpower that just can't be used. You can't just throw that away.
Yeah,
I like the Hero Academia stuff, Smash. I really do. At some point in the future, I want to do another Tartarus talk. I want to invite the entire church here to spit the gospel. I want to do this like regularly, or at least something like that. But yo, again, my nigga, happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you coming through. You are always no. I don't even need to tell you. You always welcome on any stream.
Yeah, no,
we do.
We
Nigga,
know.
You know that you're always welcome. I'm not sure what the E3 situation is this year, because we do it every year. E3 and
yeah,
Game Awards.
and
I'm not sure what the situation it is this year, because Summer Game Fest last year was absolute garbage. But I'm gonna let you go. We both got shit to do. Happy 27th birthday, my nigga.
28.
28th. I'm sorry, I forgot you was 93. I'm 94.
Yep.
I apologize about that. Happy 28th birthday, my boy. Enjoy.
Hey, enjoy yourself, man. We heading towards 30.
No, you heading towards 30. No, 27 and lower, you round down. 27 and lower, you round down until next year. Then it's gonna be 28 and down. Once I hit 30, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But all right, everybody, have a good one. Take it easy. Stay gold. Smash again. Happy birthday, bro. Take it easy. See y'all next time.